Made it out of disbelief. Candles flying up, no fear, just greed. I done waited weeks on weeks. Feel the bull run coming, bears dodge the stream. Try to get them on my team. Moon boys too busy buying XRP. No face, no KYC. VPN locked in, out of state IP. Patreon made something out of nothing. Ain't got a MetaMask, need to go and quit stunting. C phrase, only code to the fortune. Better play a card, tell them Reddit boys chumping. Black Swan, Red Swan, it's nothing. Setting limit orders, getting out before the flood hit. Retail got me knowing when the fun is. Made a bank run just to get my bags pumping. Real life, not talking dumb money. I bet the game stop when the market starts pumping. I've been here since the rain, since the flooding. FOMO kicking in, heard the habits of something. Low caps got me living like Archie. Fly to Dubai, first class, off flights, please. 5x, 10x, unlikely. 100 on my mind, no telling where it might lead. Crypto, it's been on the rise. Couple million off of me, no, it's not that time. Crazy how they still deny. Last time I seen this was 2009. Oh, well, it caught you by surprise. Getting out before they sell, all a part of the ride. With my advice, you'll do just fine. Do your own research and a thing when I rhyme.
How is everybody doing? Welcome back to another live stream. The crypto market continues to head up, and we have the clear winners. I mean, my number one altcoin, Sui, continues to be the best performing coin in pretty much the entire market. Okay, if you go and look at the top 100 on the day, Sui is the second biggest gainer out of 100 projects, and on the week, it's the second biggest gainer. What's the top gainer? A meme coin, right? You're never going to go all in on a meme coin. So it's incredible. I mean, we've had crazy conviction in Sui since day one of buying it. You know, as soon as I bought it, I started loading up crazy. Like every day I was buying. And I made it my biggest position in my portfolio, my highest conviction play. And you can see when we were stacking Sui, all the way down at 76 cents, we were stacking 76, 95, 80, 85, buy, loading up, and now we are being rewarded. And if you've been on this channel, even as just a freebie, even as just a regular viewer, I'm sure you've got Sui in your portfolio. And if you're a VIP member, I'm sure you're positioned very well as well, especially if you're a VIP member, right? Because we knew all along this was going to happen. So the chart on Sui is just a work of art. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, look at that, right? It's like a God candle. It's like the biggest God candle we've seen in crypto in a long time, excluding memes, okay? Because memes can do anything. But this is the biggest God candle we've seen on a utility coin in a very, very long time. Just a reminder, Sui's up 76% in the last 7 days. 76%. So just hypothetically, right, if you've got $1 million in Sui a week ago, you've got $1.76 million in Sui now. You've made $760,000. Now, I know most people don't have $1 million in Sui, obviously, but the point stands. It's an incredible gain, almost a 2x in a week. And I don't think it's anywhere near the end. Okay, now maybe there'll be a short-term dump at some point. We expect that with crypto. Things don't just head up only. But when you zoom out and you look at the chart, it was higher a few months ago. So we still have a lot of room for growth, in my opinion. And the fundamentals speak for themselves. So incredible, incredible project in terms of its performance this cycle. And I expect that to continue. I mean, I'm in the clear winners. It's staying like that. And yeah, pat yourselves on the back. You know, if you bought Sui, congratulations, especially if you got it as low as where I was buying and many of the VIP members. Okay. Talking about the VIP, the sale has 5 days remaining. The code SAVE20. It will be gone in 5 days. So make use of that SAVE20 discount code at checkout. Get yourselves in the group and, you know, give yourself that competitive edge in the crypto market. I also dropped, was it 4 new buy alerts? Or not new, but 4 buy alerts of low caps into the Discord. So if you want to see those buy alerts, obviously that's the place to be. But yeah, I bought 4 cryptos. I think it was 4 low caps. And I think they're going to do very well. There's going to be a big trade opportunity on low caps in the next few weeks because they're going to play catch up. Low caps are down a ton. They haven't caught up yet, but I think eventually they're going to do that and they're going to pump a lot. Now, if you see me at any point on this live stream checking my other monitor, it's because I've got a trade open right now on Ethereum. I've got a long open. I'm in very big profits. So I'm just checking it, right? So if you see me, take a look at my monitor that's the other way. It's because I'm checking that trade because I've got a nice stop loss. So even if it goes down, I'm still going to make a ton of money, but Ethereum's starting to move up. So it's a very nice trade. So yeah, crypto right now, it's doing great. And it's doing great for everyone, but especially us, right? Especially us. I mean, we're outperforming the market by ridiculous figures. I mean, you know, let's take a look at the crypto market. It says it's up 2.3% on the day. Now, just so you know, Sui is about 30 or 40%, 35 to 40% of my portfolio currently. Sui on the day is up 16%. So we're outperforming the market by 8 times. That's the competitive edge, right? That's the competitive advantage. I mean, I'm sure you could pick any coin in the top 100, you know, go for Floki or IOTA or FLA or Immutable X. I'm sure you could go for any coin and make money in the next few months, right? If Bitcoin keeps heading up. I'm sure you could do that, but there's certain coins which will drastically outperform the rest of the market. Drastically. And the other ones are in. And the other ones we're stacking right now as well. So we're going to get into the comments, see what you guys are saying. Smash the likes as always. Smash the likes on the stream. Let's get the likes up. See how many likes we can get on today's live stream. The more likes we get, the more live streams I do. Okay. So we're on 21 likes. Currently, we got 115 watching. Let's pump up the likes. And we'll get into the comments. Mavia as well, looking pretty good. I just dropped a buy alert on Mavia down here. I've given you one of the 4 buy alerts, okay? I dropped the buy alert down here on Mavia. It's already printing. So VIPs are already up like 24% in a few hours. So we're printing big time here. Is the bull run getting in full swing, or is this just a taste of what's to come? A bit of both. A bit of both. I mean, you know, we're still going to go higher, in my view. We're still going to go significantly higher. But this is what it feels like to be in a bull run, right? So your portfolio isn't printing today. You're probably in the wrong coins. That's the reality, because we're up a ton today in the VIP. And it's because we got the right coins. You know, I've studied the markets, I've scouted around, and we have the best projects, and that's why we're up a lot today. So, yeah, it should feel like a bull run to you. If it doesn't, you probably want to reassess things. But it should feel like a bull run. It should. Now, that doesn't mean we're full in the swing of it, right? Doesn't mean we're completely in the bull run and we're way into it. But it is kind of a bit of both. It's like the beginning of the next leg up. Who knows how long the next leg up will last? It could last a month. It could last 2 months. But we have had a structural breakout with Bitcoin. That doesn't mean it's up only, guys. I want to make sure people are level-headed here and you're not getting ahead of yourselves. that does not mean it's up only. We can have little dumps. We can have moves down. Okay, that's normal. That's healthy. We could even come as low as, 87K, 85K and still be healthy, technically. So I'll pull up the Bitcoin chart here. We'll take a look. It is pumping right now, which is great. But it is a money flow point of resistance on the daily. So that could be a potential sell wall there. But yeah, we could 100% come down, guys. Like at some point we are going to come down. We are getting to the point probably on the shorter time frames where we are overbought. On the longer time frames, we're still only just breaking out, right? You can see on the weekly, the RSI, we've only just broken out. So there's still a huge amount of room for growth in the mid to long term, as in the next few months. But in the next few days, we could chop, right? But it is looking incredible. I mean, we've just burst straight past 91 and 95K. And I wanted to show you guys just a little update on the Gaussian channel, because you guys know I've been following this very closely. The Gaussian channel is creeping up, which gives us more room as well. Like, it gives us a better exit if the bull market does end, if that makes sense. So the Gaussian channel, you can see it's kind of creeping up. I've just drew this artificially on. So you can see kind of it's creeping up, which would mean even if the bull run were to end, like worst case scenario, right? The bull run was to end tomorrow and we were to crash, you would be probably selling a lot higher because you could have the invalidation at 84K. So around 83, 84K, you'd probably be selling, right? On a break of that channel. Versus when it was down here in the 70s. So you're selling a bit higher anyway, even when the bull run ends. If that's your strategy to sell. I'm not saying it should be. I'm just saying the Gaussian channel does act as a very good kind of support band for bull markets. And when you go through it, or when you enter it, you usually go through it. Fortunately, we managed to survive. We closed above it, and that restarted the bull run. So far, my charting has really been to the T lately. I'm not trying to boast or anything, but we did call this Gaussian channel. I also called that when we broke down below 91, we were going to see much lower prices. We're having a big debate in my VIP group months ago. A lot of people were saying, oh, we'll just go to 85K. We'll fill some CME gap. I was saying, no, if we break down below 91, we're going to 94. And anyone in the group, they can confirm it. We're going down to 74 if we break 91. And that's exactly what we did, because the March highs are at 74. That was the macro support. We hit it. Now we're bouncing. So if you're sideline right now, you probably need to know you're not going to see prices this low again until the bear market. You're not going to see prices this low again until the bear market. That's probably the reality we're facing. So the best bet, if you're sidelined still, is to wait on a retracement and then get in. That's what I would do. It's not financial advice, but if I was sidelined, I wouldn't necessarily be buying right now, but I'd be looking for a retracement and then I'd be stacking. Hope you're doing well. How's it going, Matt? Archie, your call on Sui was pure genius. VIP's printing, thanks to you. Also loving the group calls lately. Wow, thank you, AMC. Appreciate it. I actually made a lot of money on AMC and GME back in the day, so it's good to see that name. But yeah, welcome to the stream, bro. And absolutely, VIP's printing. The Sui call was definitely on point. And I'm glad you're enjoying the voice chats. We had another voice chat last night. I think it lasted maybe 4 or 5 hours. Man, I love the voice chats. It's always great to talk to members. And we have very, very constructive conversations. Yo, Archie, when are you going to do a meetup in Australia, bro? I've never been to Australia, but maybe someday I'll go and maybe there'll be a meetup. Who knows? Also, I have $30,000 stable coins to invest. What would you buy with that? I have a lot of Casper and some Turbo. So if I was buying right now, I wouldn't really be buying Sui or coins which have pumped a lot. I would be buying more into the lower cap region because they still have attractive prices. So I'd maybe be stacking Say. Maybe I'd be stacking Render. Render's still quite cheap. So there's a few options out there, right? I do recommend you get in the VIP group if you're not already. If you've got 30,000 in stables, I can definitely help you out. Put that into some good projects. So definitely recommend getting on the VIP. And if you've got even more than that in the game and you're looking to maybe even make 7 figures, then check out the bundle sale as well. My portfolio size is only $1,000, not enough to be in the VIP. Please suggest, not advise, a portfolio for me. Look, I can't really tell you what to invest, man. I need to know more. I need to know your situation. I need to know your risk profile. Like, I can't tell you what to buy just based off that message, man. But, if you're looking for quality projects, these are my favorites. You do you. I'm not going to tell you what to buy, bro. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do that. But, if you listen to the streams enough, you should know which projects are good and which ones aren't. ETH needs to just do its thing. Man, this long is printing. I don't want to say the amount I'm up, but put it this way. A few years ago, I used to work at a bakery, and I'm up more than what I'd earn in a year doing that job. So this is crazy profits here. Let me just move my stop loss up. Wow. And by the way, I did tell the VIPs in the trading chat that I opened the long, and anyone on the group call, you would have heard it. Could you please take a look at Peak? Absolutely. Peak, it hasn't got the best looking chart, but the project itself fundamentally is great. And the chart is starting to look better. Like on the larger time frames, it doesn't look great. Got to be honest, but it is starting to pick up a little bit. Okay. Still hasn't really had a breakout yet, but I think a breakout will be coming some point soon because the project is very strong. Thoughts on DeepSeek? Not DeepSeek, DeepBook. DeepSeek. That was the AI thing that caused the mini black swan. Does anyone remember that? That seems like years ago now. We've had so much stress in this market. I mean, that whole DeepSeek AI, that wasn't that long ago, but it feels like it was a year ago. But anyway, those are good quality projects on the Sui ecosystem. I personally don't have any projects on the Sui ecosystem other than Sui itself because I've got 40% of my portfolio in Sui. So I don't want to go and overexpose myself to Sui by getting even more projects or even more exposure to Sui. But they're fine. If you miss Sui, they're good plays which could maybe, provide some extra multipliers. But they are more risky than Sui, obviously. So I wouldn't be going and putting 40% of the portfolio into those. If something has the backing of the Turbo crowd, I probably don't want to invest in it, man, because those guys, they all sold their Casper for Turbo. Like, bro, some of those Turbo guys are the lowest IQ people in crypto. Not all of them, obviously, but some of them sold all their Casper to throw it into Turbo. I mean, some of these plays that were made were appallingly atrocious. CG thinks $100 Casper next bull run? Well, I don't even know, man. Look, CG, he got his call on Casper perfect. He was like maybe the first YouTuber to like go all in on Casper and be a complete maxi. So he's been spot on with his call. I disagree with his price targets. I think he's more bullish than I am. But fundamentally, we both agree that Casper is one of, if not the best project in crypto. So fundamentally, we agree on the quality of the project. I just think you know, he's a lot more bullish than me. And maybe he sees a super cycle and, you know, Bitcoin going to many X's from here. But I don't see that personally. I'm more on the cautious side. Today I raised my Bitcoin target to 600K, but last week it was only 130. That's what everyone's going to be doing now. Everyone's going to start doing that now. Just watch. Yeah, everyone's going to start raising their targets now on BTC just because we've had a run. I'm still staying the same personally. But obviously, crypto, it changes every day. So I don't like blame people who change their targets because I've done it myself with things. Like I've reduced a lot of targets based on the fact that Q1 was really bearish. I expected Q1 to be bullish. I was wrong on that. Hands up, like fully transparent. I was wrong on Q1. Okay. I've been calling for a Q2 top for a long time. Like since last year, I was calling for a Q2 top and I was saying Q1 and Q2 would be bullish. It seems like Q1 was bearish, Q2 will be bullish. That's how it seems. So I was wrong on Q1. It still seems a Q2 top could be on the cards. There could be a left translated cycle where we top out in June. Okay, it's very possible, especially if we get a rate cut. Quite often they can signal tops, interestingly enough. When the Fed pivots, it's not always a great sign for markets. Quite often markets see through that, right? Because why would the Fed start lowering interest rates drastically? I'm sure many of you guys think they do that because the market is healthy. But the reality is a Fed, a central bank, starts drastically lowering interest rates because the labor market's about to break or has broken. Right? Or you're going to get deflation, maybe. They're doing it to save the economy because you're going to get recession. So I'm not always convinced when I hear these people on Twitter and these people who profess to be economic gurus. I'm not always convinced that rate cuts are just going to be the start of a super cycle and every single rate cut is just going to be a catalyst after catalyst after catalyst after catalyst and just pump us through the roof. I'm not too convinced on that because I've seen history. Okay, I've studied the role of the Fed in the economy. Okay, I've studied the S&P 500 and the history of its crashes. And when the Fed start trying to bring rates to zero, it's not always the best sign, guys. So there's a good chance the labor market weakens towards the end of the year and the Fed try and get us out of that by bringing rates down a lot. Now, gradual 25 basis point cuts, those are healthy. Those are fine. But when you start seeing either emergency cuts or drastic 50 basis point cuts, that's where you start to get afraid. ETH long continues to print. Apologies, guys. I should be professional, right? I should be professional. I'm doing a live stream. But I have to just keep looking at my monitor because it's exciting, you know? It's exciting to see the gains. But yeah, I hope all of you guys are making gains in the markets as well. If we see a pullback soon, how will I know when to buy? Well, if we see a pullback, I'll be dropping buy alerts and I'll be talking about it on the channel. But if you really want to know, you should probably learn how to read a chart. Learn some TA, right? Because pullbacks can be difficult to time if you don't know what you're doing. But if you know just a basic level of technical analysis, you'll be able to find some decent targets on pullbacks. So 91K as being kind of like a macro support and resistance on Bitcoin for quite a while. I would say if Bitcoin hit 91K, you probably have a good little buy zone there. You know, you could throw on the fibs from the low down here, this double bottom that we had. You could put them there to where we are currently. Let's say this was the top. I mean, it might not be. 87K could be an interesting point as well. We had a little bit of consolidation around 87K. Usually Bitcoin likes to come back down to the regions of consolidation, right? When you have these consolidative phases, if that's even a word, consolidation phases, when you have these, Bitcoin quite often likes to come back down and retest them. So, you know, me personally, if we were going to get a retracement here, I would be looking at somewhere between 87 to 91K as a potential place we could come back down to. But we already kind of did that, right? We already went to 94 and then we came back down to 91. So we already arguably had a retracement. We could be going to 99K on this run. We really could, especially because we're above 94 right now. We're at 95.2. If we maintain this over the weekend and we don't see a crash, we could be going for 100K on the next move. And then we come down, right? So that's what some people need to understand. Yes, we'll have a retracement, but it might not happen right now. We might have a little bit more to go up before we have the retracement. Because if you look at the last run Bitcoin had in November 2024, we really didn't have a retracement until we got to 91K. And we started the run at 66, right? So I'm not saying the same amount of percentage gain will be done here, but Bitcoin went, I mean, it didn't even really retrace at 91K. Really, the proper retracement happened at 99. The proper retracement happened at 100K, where we went from 99 back down to 90. So in November, Bitcoin really had like a 50% move until we had the retracement. And the retracement wasn't even big. So yeah, there will be a retracement at some point, and I'm not trying to cause FOMO here, but there's no guarantee the retracement happens here. 55% move is what Bitcoin did before the retracement. That would put us at 115K. I'm not saying that will happen, okay? I'm really not. I don't expect that to happen. I think that's the unlikely scenario, but it's possible. If we did that, I would probably be taking big profits on that run, around 55% gain. I'd be taking big profits on the alts because that would also coincide with this macro trend line, this macro resistance trend line. So that's interesting, actually, when you mirror the move of before we got a retracement. But yeah, this trend line on Bitcoin has been serving as resistance for almost 8 years. People need to study this and understand it. Sure, we could break above it and go for a final blow off top, right? We could do that, but it's played out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times clearly. This macro support, macro resistance. So, got to be aware of that, guys. And we're discussing things like this in the VIP, you know, every day. We're discussing it. And I'm sure we'll be doing probably another call tonight. Is Sui the next Solana? It's the next trade of Solana. Whether or not it'll overtake Solana in terms of actual usage, who knows, right? But it's the Solana trade of this cycle, really. That's what it is. Interesting. So my ETH trade just got stopped out in a 2x profit there. And now it's dumping a little bit. So yeah, I think there's going to be a great trade on Ethereum potentially this next run because it's so cheap. And when it pumps, it will probably pump very fast. There'll be a lot of FOMO and it will kind of have a god candle in a way, you know. And I'm not a bull on Ethereum. I really don't like Ethereum, to be quite honest with you, but I think it is going to have a big pump at some point to either 4K or 5K, maybe even 6K, somewhere between 4 and 6K. And you got to realize, that's more than a 2x move from here. So there's a good amount of money to be made if you know what you're doing with Ethereum. Yeah, Mavi is insanely volatile. It's the type of coin you just put $10 into for the average person. It's not a coin you go heavy into. I've been saying this since day one. It's a risky coin. You should have 100 times Sui compared to Mavia. Every $1 you put in Mavia, you should have like $100 in Sui, Solana, Bitcoin, Casper, those types of coins, right? So that's very important. But to me, it's one of the best low cap gaming coins. So yes, it's really volatile. Yes, it looks like a scam coin when you look at the chart sometimes. It does. I'm not sugarcoating it. It looks terrible sometimes when you look at the chart. But it has been known to also make very big pumps, like it did a month ago or so. So I'm betting on it. I'm betting a small amount of money. I'm willing to lose that money. And, you should do the same. If you're buying a coin like Mavia, you should be willing to lose that money. Okay. You should be willing to lose it. Can you show us what Sui will likely pull back to? Honestly, it's hard to know, man. Like, it's only just broken out on the weekly. Like, it's only just had its breakout. The last time it broke out like this, it went and did a 10x, like with very minimal retracements. And Sui barely retraces. So, like on all these pumps, it kind of looked the same. I don't know if you guys remember. It would always pump and then have like a 30% dump, and then pump and then have like a 30% dump. It'd do the same thing every single time, 20 to 30% dumps. So if Sui is done pumping here, let's just say, it'll probably dump to like $3 and then that's your entry, just hypothetically, right? It could start trying to target $4 here and then have a little dump, but it doesn't dump heavily. It has a major move and then a quick 20% drop or so, and then continues its move up. So I don't expect any major dumps on Sui until the bear market starts. Yeah, Ondo's a good buy. Ondo's looking good. Below $1, you can't go wrong buying Ondo. Yeah, virtuals as well. Gave some buy alerts on that one. Well, I gave one big buy alert. And let's see, when did I buy virtuals? Man, we're printing right now in the VIP. This is insane. This is crazy. Almost up 2x on the virtuals buy. It just passes you by, these buys. There we go. So I bought $6,000 virtuals at 54 cents. This is a couple weeks ago. It's almost at $1 now. Man, we keep catching the winners. It's great to see. I think Aerodrome as well looks like it should pump a lot. Just, again, it's another one just had its breakout. It was in macro support. Now it's starting to pump out of that support. I mean, if Arrow comes back to its all-time high, this is going to be a great trade. It's going to be a great, great buy that we did down here. Stacking it in the lows. And then if you're looking for a coin which hasn't even pumped yet, I would say Beam is looking all right. The gaming space. The point is there's still a lot of opportunities. Like, even if you missed out on Sui, there's a lot of opportunities to make some money. Like Render, I don't think has pumped too much either. Render is a good buy. Casper price by the end of the summer. Very speculative. No one knows for sure, but I would guess it would be somewhere between 30 cents to $1 by the end of the summer. Maybe 50 cents, you know, especially with what they're doing with these upgrades, the crescendo upgrade, the hard fork they're doing. And if we get a listing after that, then it could even be on the higher side of that, maybe around $1. You know, when you ask me Casper price predictions, you kind of need to state with or without a tier 1 listing, because if we don't get a tier 1 listing, it's going to be significantly lower than if we do get a tier 1 listing. %1 of my portfolio in Mavia, solid. Yeah, that's okay. I wouldn't go any more than that. Wouldn't go any higher. Yeah, look, you do get bear market pumps, but the difference is Bitcoin hasn't entered a bear market. It literally hasn't. Like it didn't enter a bear market. Like objectively, the bull market support the bull market support that we all look at, which is the Gaussian channel, we held it. So we did not enter a bear market, just objectively on Bitcoin. I mean, many altcoins did, but Bitcoin didn't enter a bear market. Plus, cyclically, it's just not congruent. Like, it just doesn't add up. Cyclically speaking, you know. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up the stream here. I appreciate you all joining, as always. We'll probably do another voice chat call in the Discord today. So get yourselves on over to the VIP. We're printing in the VIP, making a ton of money. We're in the clear winners. Let me just show you the evidence. Okay, literally, I was looking at the top gainers. Sui top gainer today, and the top gainers on the week. 3 of my top 3 are literally in the top gainers. You guys know, what are my top 3? You should know it by now. You know, I say it every single stream. Sui, Casper, Tau. Casper, Sui, Tau. Casper, Sui, Tau. So those are the top 3. And the 3 are the biggest gainers in the entire market right now. So it's no coincidence. Those are the 3 biggest gainers. They are the 3 best projects. And, you know, if you want to see what I'm buying next, because I'm not buying those ones anymore, I stacked those a long time ago. Stacked Potenza Tau below $200. I was buying Sui well below $1. I was buying Casper at 3 cents. I'm done. You know, I'm not buying any of those now. I'm buying new projects. If you want to see the other projects I'm buying, the next ones to do this, potentially, and check out the sale on the VIP group. Use the code SAVE20 at checkout. The sale will be going in 5 days' time. Make sure you don't forget. Otherwise, you'll be paying a higher price. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys over there in the Discord. It's a super, super active group. You know, people join and they're surprised how active it is. I had a guy join the other day. It was like, Archie, why don't you talk even better about this group? It's literally the most active group in crypto. People are talking 24/7. You have voice chats every single day. He was like, why don't you, you know, give it even more praise than what you do? But, you know, it's a quality group, and people are sharing charts, sharing analysis, sharing new altcoins, new opportunities, exit strategy, everything, you name it. So appreciate you guys watching the stream. Make sure you have a really great rest of your day. And if I don't see you at the weekend, because maybe I won't produce a video or a stream, I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. Appreciate you all. Have a great weekend. And yeah, goodbye.